ourselves who on earth we are and what on earth we are doing and who we're playing, and then we'll do a kind of catch-up from last time for those who don't remember or missed it, or for us because we've got bad memories. So, Keef.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
I am going to be playing a rogue halfling. He is chaotic neutral. A little bit of backstory with him. Me and my counterpart here, Pearl, are twin brothers, and we are always up to no good. So we're currently up to no good, I think. So we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty excited about today, though. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Paul, what about you, my friend?
I am Pearl Alongsam, and I'm a halfling as well, and I am a sorcerer. So, in the last episode, actually, he didn't know where his power came from, and he met an alchemist called Elion, which gave him a sorceress. It was sorceress stone, right?
I believe it was a monocle.
Yeah, a monocle. And through that, I can actually hone my powers through it, and it's the first time Pearl's ever been able to do that. So, we'll see how badly his spells go, but for the most part, he's very curious and inquisitive.
He's gonna burn a forest down at some point.
Just to see if he can.
Yeah.
Yes.
See if I can light that on fire.
Yeah. So we should probably try and remember what happened previously on the Luskan Almanac. Now it's been a week longer than it usually would be, so I appreciate we've all got some foggy memories here. So I help you guys out. But vaguely, whereabouts did we start off? What sort of things happened? We don't need to go into great detail as to every little thing you did, but you know, get a kind of overall feel for the episode, I guess.
Are we doing the recap or are you?
Yeah, I'll let you guys do the recap, and I'll help you out any points that you can't.
Okay. I'll try and keep it as TLDR as possible, I suppose. Started off, mother was sick. Ended up trying to steal some medicine and was kind of hired to earn the medicine, and went through that in the sewers and kind of uncovered this whole deal that's going on that we had no idea was even like a thing.
It's like it's a ritual, basically.
Yeah, it turned out to be the Luskan Almanac, if you will. Basically, we're fighting the Arcane Brotherhood. Or no, I'm sorry, that's
with the Arcane
guys. We're the Gatherers, I guess. Are the guys that we're going up against, kind of helping out the Arcane Brotherhood, trying to stop an incursion from happening sometime in time.
Not to mention that half of the power is being wiped out by them, so we're kind of selling ourselves into a possible dangerous situation more than not, really.
Yeah, and so Elion, the guy he thought was just a kind of tinkerer alchemist, turned out to be one part of this ancient organization of kind of time traveler protectors, basically. And they try and stop the Gatherers, this weird race of people who you saw like these 7 feet tall, kind of like spindly, weird fingers, and they could open tears in reality, which was kind of worrying. And so he kind of set you with the task of finding some missing pages of his almanac. And so someone had stolen or taken pages from his book, which was kind of important because it means that he can't tell when exactly attacks in the past are going to happen. And it's the sort of deal that if an attack happens in the past and Luskan gets destroyed 1,000 years ago, then all of you guys will never have been born. It's a kind of butterfly effect of events. So if you don't stop something in the past, then they'll have events where maybe you never even met Elion. And as we'll see, the time-traveling confusion and butterfly effects will definitely come into effect soon in our game as more nonsense begins to occur. So I'm quite looking forward to the different scenarios you guys might end up in.
Does the fact that we're currently in the Luskan town mean that we had to have gone back and saved it, right? Because if we didn't, then
by thinking we already did.
Yeah, we've already.
In your current timeline, you haven't died. Luskan seems to be fine.
Time travel is confusing.
Exactly.
And I have all my fingers, so therefore I didn't do anything.
Yeah, in this
too bad.
In this timeline it might be, but there may be different alternate timelines of Keef and Perl where they have failed horribly. Who knows?
In every single one of them, Keith, you've got a tear in your eye.
Yeah.
I don't know this though.
I know you don't.
I just know my face hurts a little bit. Right?
You might want to watch that. Doesn't go gangrene, you know.
Yeah. So you guys headed out of Luskan itself, right? So you
We hopped on, I believe it was the Black Heart. We joined up with Hartushan Refnor, one of the high captains in Luskan, and sailed to the island. Trying to find out one of my notes if I have the name of the island. Whalebone Island.
Yes, the Whalebones,
So we landed there eventually. We didn't just
After fighting a kraken and destroying another ship.
Yeah.
It was a bit of an adventure on our way there, but we made it.
Damn it, you bitch! I'll get for next time.
We ended up finding a tribe, the Unga, and Pearl just walks on in and becomes BFFs with the.
If you act shady, they're gonna think you're a threat.
Smoking tribesmen. And,
The moth smoking.
Set us on our way to find the hermit. We eventually made our way there, and we had just arrived to the cave of said hermit.
Indeed.
We did speak with them, I believe, and he needed food, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we didn't speak with
Yeah,
him. We
we
tried to
didn't.
grab him food before we went
Oh,
down.
right. We were going to
As good faith.
try and bring him something. Figure as a hermit, he probably forages himself. We're
You
gonna try and
killed
bring
a
him a peace
squirrel,
offering.
one of these like six-legged squirrels, which is around the place, and so you decided that, hey, well, why not? I'll kill one of these squirrels, because previously you used it as distraction with a dinosaur or this giant lizard creature, which I guess you guys wouldn't know is a dinosaur, around. And thanks to Bad Wing NA for following. Welcome, my friend. To the adventure, you're a gentleman and a scholar, sir, and also thanks to Callie Brech for following. That's about where we left you guys off, about to enter the hermit's cave and find out if he has these missing pages of the Almanac, if he stole them for whatever reason, and if you can get them back for Elian Blackwater of the Arcane Brotherhood. So, before we begin, we have a thing or two. We have a twist of fate.
Oh God! All right.
Indeed. And it's a big one. So I want these to get continually kind of bigger and bigger as the plot goes along. And a twist of fate means you guys get a choice between two kind of branching paths for the party this episode. And these ones are worlds apart, depending on exactly where they end
Be
up.
gentle.
Well, they've got a choice between one which sounds really bad and one which sounds really good, but both of them aren't particularly good. So
either golden death or death.
exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to throw a straw poll into chat, and I'm going to let you guys vote on it, and whichever one happens, gets the most votes, you will be able to see this affect our game and actually happen. So go ahead and vote in that straw poll over there. And
Are we still not to look at these?
We can't see it.
Don't have a look yet. Don't have a look.
Don't
You'll see
have a
the
look, okay.
results when the results are in. It's likely because I've written so much content for both of them that we'll end up doing the other one at some point down the line. I'll probably allow it in a different twist of fate, see if it ever gets voted on. But until then, we shall see.
Vote.
Decide our fate, guys.
Yes.
So, yeah, you
Is there an
guys-
option for Keith smashes Pearl's skull in with a rock by chance?
I would hope there isn't. You know,
I vote for that one.
I don't want to reroll a character already, Keith.
So, we find you guys outside a hermit's cave on an island, a jungle island, filled with giant lizard creatures and the Unga tribe, who like to smoke moss. Marijuana.
My tribe.
Yeah. So, you've got a six-legged squirrel dead, and other than that...
Just hold a squirrel.
Yeah.
Hey!
We got food!
Put it in the bag this time, Keith. Last time we actually attracted a dinosaur, so
Yeah, I already. Yeah, it's in the bag right now.
Okay then. So, what's the plan?
Okay. Is this just like a little kind of like
Cave.
hut looking thing, or is this like
Yeah, it's
into
actually a little
like
cave. It's like
into
a
the
hole.
rock?
It's more like a hole down into the ground, which he's like dug out. It's like a little hobbit home, I guess, in that sense. It's
Okay.
kind of dug down into the ground. Yeah.
Do you wanna kind of yell down there before going down? Because I don't think we should walk into a cave. That's kind of like walking into someone's house being unannounced.
Should is there a doorbell anywhere? Do we see anything?
No apparent doorbell. No.
Any
I
like
can
thing I
actually-
can ring out front?
Hold on. I can actually prestidigitation a sound. Yeah? Like a little doorbell sound?
Can you?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I can try. There's a difference.
Do it. Give it a go.
this
All right.
is a massive bell toll.
I'd like to make a little bell sound
Okay.
with prestidigitation.
What's up, Tiger? So yeah, you make a little ding, or ding dong. I guess it's more like a dong, because they're the only bells really around this time, I guess. And you hear a kind of like shuffling come from the cave, and like a person kind of moving around down there. And there's a voice kind of, what is that?
Hello?
The old man comes out. He looks very much like Radagast from The Hobbit. He's got his kind of brown robes on, he's got a beard
okay.
with like moss growing in it and different things sticking out. There's probably a few creatures made their nests in this guy's big beard and his hair as well. And he's got this kind of little hat on which he keeps on his head to hide some of the kind of like filthy locks coming down. He's clearly very old. He looks very surprised to see people outside of his house. And he says, what was that noise?
That would be us, sir. Up here, out of the cave.
How'd you make that noise?
That was a spell I have. Are you acquainted with the...
And he like puts his hands up like, magic.
No. It was a non-aggressive one. It's just simple sounds. It's like someone just like making a noise with your mouth, basically.
I'm gonna pull the squirrel out and just be like,
We got your food.
peace.
You killed it.
It was already dead. We found it.
Yeah, it fell from the tree. We saw it actually, and it hit its head.
He comes over and like takes it in his hands. He looks down at it, this creature, which with great sorrow. You have to bury him. And then he like loses all focus on you, and like he just starts walking off to this like little stream, and he goes down on his hands and knees and starts like digging a hole.
Wait over there. Wouldn't you be respecting the animal more by consuming it? Because it's like you're passing on its life force through you.
He looks disgusted at you and carries on digging.
Damn it, Keef! I want some food.
He like puts the animal in this little hole that he's dug and starts like scooping some dirt over it, like dusts his hands off.
He must be a druid.
And I'll come over and I'll put some moss over it, like. There you go.
But don't waste the good moss, man.
I'm not the good moss. It's probably not the good moss.
I don't know. It looks pretty dank, man.
Pretty herbaceous to me.
It doesn't look purple to me, so.
Hey, no crystals on it. Okay.
But yeah, I'll help him over and I'll look at him like, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm guessing you know every single one of these creatures?
Yeah, most of them, yes. They're my friends. Now, who are you?
I'm Pearl Onyx Arm, and this is my brother.
Does he have a name?
Keef!
Yes, I am Keefling Onyx Arm. Sorry, I thought he was gonna speak for me. He always does.
He zones out. He had a little bit too much of that moss before we got here, so.
Yeah, I did try the moss. No, did I try the moss or not? I don't think.
No, I don't think you
I think I was like, nah, I ain't smoking moss, bro.
Wait, no, you did. You went into the chieftain's hut, and you did. I remember that.
Yeah, I think you had
Yeah,
a
you-
toke. Yeah. So yeah, he says, "Oh, they call me the Hermit."
Well, it's
What are
a
you,
pleasure to meet
what are you
you.
doing out here, Hermit? Obviously, you live out here, but why? Like, why do you seclude yourself out here on this island, away from civilization?
Well, there's far too much noise and busyness in the city, you see.
Yeah, it seems like a nice place to kind of hide away from all the troubles, I suppose.
You could say that.
Yeah. You have anything to hide from, by chance?
Why you gotta be asking such personal questions, Keith?
Yeah. You got nothing to hide.
Boy, you're out here alone, huh?
You a moss salesman to the city, huh?
Selling some moss out here, right? So he's like, no, just I've led the giant creatures around here that like to eat meat. Nothing to hide from. You can roll me an insight check if you think he might be lying. If you want to kind of read it.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not suspicious of him, so I'm not going to.
it's not so much that like suspicious. Like anyone can just hide, like from the city, loud noises. That's one thing, but to like seclude yourself on this Bone-Tooth Island, like I feel like there's more to it than just like, oh, I don't want to be the city. Like you can go out in the farm like land and stuff,
Yeah,
like why?
I don't know. Some people just don't like other people. I know, but the Unaga tribe know him.
So yeah, on the 11 insight, I'll roll his. Okay. Yeah. As far as you can tell, the guy isn't like obviously lying. You might have reason to think he's maybe not telling the whole truth. But as far as you can tell, he's not obviously like looking really shifty. No, nothing to hide from here.
Yeah, I just like to quiet.
Yeah. Now come into my cave.
Two little children come into the cave.
I'm Keith Hansen. Have a seat. Have a seat.
What are you doing out here? Yeah?
What are you doing out here? Huh? You expecting somebody?
No, actually, but
Okay.
so I'll stop and I'm like, so we got directions from a tribe called the Unga. Are you well acquainted with these?
Yes, I help them from time to time. They help me. Yes.
Or they had reason to believe that you could help us.
Well, I do have some local remedies and herbs which grow in the area, but
That's not actually what we're looking for. Would you have any sort of parchment or paper lying around?
parchment paper. None really. Maybe I have something around, but I haven't written for years and years.
So you know what a book looks like then?
What's that, sorry?
So you know what a book looks like then?
I know what a book looks like, yes, Sorry, I'm a bit hard of hearing. Yes, I have seen many books, boy. I didn't always live out on this island.
So, you mind if we step inside? I mean, it's getting a little open out here, so...
Yes, of course. You may step inside my humble abode. Try not to touch anything, though.
Sure.
It's odd to see strangers on the island, he says, as he kind of leads you into the hut, little cave area, which he has basically. It's kind of formed into a little room, only big enough for one person really to live in. There's a little cooking area, a little hearth, and a simple kind of straw mattress, which he has laid out.
Do you mind if I make a perception check around his
sure.
going?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a bunch of like potions and a few kind of like salves and stuff like that. But the guy really just has a pretty frugal existence out here. There's nothing kind of any value which you can see as of this point. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say it. Well, thank you for inviting us in. It's been a long journey coming here, and it's.
So why did you come here exactly?
And I'll look at Keefling like, should.
You just kind of like look back, like I don't know if I want to like say it, kind of like. What do you know of the island outside of yourself and the Unga? Like, are there any other not really tribes, but just any inhabitants at all of the island, other than the wildlife, obviously?
The island itself is home to but a few. The creatures resident here make sure of that, but and it's not easy to make a living or find enough food out here. I know of the mainland. I used to live along the Sword Coast back when I was a younger man. But I know little of current events. News comes by every few years or so from someone who got stranded on the ship or something, but other than that...
So it's safe to say that you know this area pretty well, then?
I know the island very well, yes.
Has anything changed, or have you seen suspicious people come through here in the past? How long have you been here?
I haven't seen anyone who hasn't been forthright with what their business is.
Interesting. Many people come here for hunting, or?
Occasionally there's a herbalist who comes looking for some rare ingredients for a potion, perhaps.
Okay.
But, like I say, guests are rare.
Does the name Elion ring anything to you?
He kind of, he's got a very obvious tell. He kind of, like, raises an eyebrow. He seems like, Elion? Perhaps, maybe I knew a man when I was younger. No.
I'm going to insight check that.
A lot of aliens around here, you know.
Tons, tons.
All the chieftains, they're called aliens. Yeah.
Yeah, I will call it.
Yeah, that the eyebrow.
Leon?
Galion, no.
Oh shit!
It's like kind of
I would have got away with it too. If you weren't for you meddling kids.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, yeah, okay, I know an Elion, yes. Might not be the same one.
There's only one.
There's only one that we know of, and you said a herbalist comes along here. Elion is the herbalist.
True, but Elion hasn't visited this island in several years.
So you do know who he is?
If you mean the same Elion as I mean, Elion the herbalist.
So then we're on the same.
I suppose
right?
there might be 2 or 3 Elion the herbalist. I don't know. It might be a common name nowadays.
All right, cut the shit. What are you trying to avoid?
Why'd you do it, Hermit?
Why'd you do
it? We know you have them. Gonna straight call them out on it. Why? Where are they?
I suppose he sent you, has he?
He did.
For the pages?
Yes. So you know exactly what we're after.
Exactly. I have an inkling.
Is your hermit sense tingling?
Yes.
Where are they, Hermit? You're avoiding the questions right now. We're the ones asking.
Yeah, he goes over, like, sits down with, like, a sigh on, like, an old wicker chair. Well, I suppose I have some explaining to do. I knew this day would come, eventually. Well, Eleon and I are part of the same organization, or once were. I used to be part of the Arcane Brotherhood, before I was excommunicated from them for having disagreements of opinion. You see, I was cast out of the order when certain events occurred. I took some pages because I believed that it was most unsafe for all of the pages to be kept in one single tome. What if at some point Deleon is found out and murdered by the Gatherers, and then they take his book, and then the Order itself, the Arcane Brotherhood, would be decimated. And so I stole, or rather acquired, some pages which I thought might be pertinent, and hid them.
But that's a problem. You know that. If you're from the Arcane Brotherhood, you know that if you can't have all the pages in one place, you can't predict the next attack.
Yes, but I know where I put them.
But how much good is that if you can't...
Yeah, what if you die?
Like, if you die, the Gatherers come, they take the pages...
Well, that's why I'm living alone here on this island. No one can find me here.
That's what you think. You think the Gatherers can't... They can rip holes in time and space. You don't think they can find you?
He kind of, he says, I might know some magic of myself, which allows me to hide from them.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that, because he was like kind of scared of Pearl using just a simple sound.
Yeah, the whole magic. Yeah,
I don't think he knows anything here.
Did you say anything to him about that?
Yeah, well, I was kind of.
Oh yeah, your insight check. I mean, if he's saying the truth and he's part of the Arcane Brotherhood, then he probably knows a bit about magic at least, or maybe a fair amount.
Okay.
Maybe the magic being scared thing was just like a playing up to it sort of thing, trying to be a scared old man.
Actually, in that case, does he have any candles or anything that could be lit in this cave, I assume?
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to press station to light them. Like, scared of magic?
Yeah, like flicks them off.
Yeah.
Ooh. Mage fight.
So you do know magic, so you're telling the truth on that part. So why is it that you're so...
Well, if
avoiding
I
it?
gave away that I was a magic user, and if you were working for the Gatherers, which I haven't yet ascertained that you're not, then they would be able to find me very easily, wouldn't they?
And I'll pull out my bag, the monocle, like, do you really think a gatherer would have this? This is from Elion himself. He lent me this.
Very well. Your credentials seem intact. But as I said, I don't have the pages. I've hidden them.
Yeah, you have to tell us where they are.
These particular...
Elion needs them. There's something going down right now in Luskan.
I took these particular pages for a reason. They're not just the normal pages. They contain certain weaknesses that they have, and when you find the pages, or if you ever can, then you will learn of those weaknesses. But they also contain vital information about the Arcane Brotherhood, so if they were found by the Gatherers, it would be very bad. That's why they're hidden. But the Arcane Brotherhood themselves, they thought different. The High Vizier, well, he was a stuck-up arsehole. So I decided to go it alone. For the sake of...
What do you say? Alzir? Alzir?
He's a High Vizier.
High Vizier.
He's the leader of... Really, has Elion not told you any of this?
He hasn't told us this, no.
He's the leader of the Arcane Brotherhood. They change who is the High Vizier every few years, so I'm not certain which one he is at this point, but there is someone in charge.
So where's Elion on this chain of command then?
Well, Elion is a senior member.
Okay.
He's quite an old man like me, you see.
So you a higher rank than him, or same?
We were the same rank. In fact, me and Elion grew up together. We were the best of friends for a long time. But then...
Has he tried to, like, contact you and get these pages before? Has he ever come out here and questioned the location of them after you took them and left?
No.
So why would he not come out himself and do it? Why has he sent us to do this?
Well,
do you guys have a disagreement, obviously?
I imagine he might have heard about the recent... And there must be some event which has triggered your coming.
And that you did mention that, and I'll relay the information that we found in the sewers, that we saw a ritual of some kind of the rats entering the portal, and that's how we learned of the whole Almanac series.
Okay, yeah. So he nods.
If this is on the pages, though, he would already know that something is happening in Luskan. I'm saying this to him, like, you would already know something is happening in Luskan. Like, you've obviously looked at these pages, and if this is noted in time that something happened previously, then you would know this is going down already, right?
I haven't looked at the pages, boy, because they're hidden away. Not anywhere around here. They're hidden away in time.
What?
I hid them in time.
This man's obviously lost his mind out here.
Alien has taught you enough.
How does one hide something in time and not have it in the present time?
Well, you see, boy, what you do? Like, really, Elion, you must reprimand him when you return for not telling me any of this. Shameless, shameful. But what you do is you return to a time in the past that you have been, and you put it somewhere that no one is going to find it, and you leave it there until the time where you need to return to it at that point in time.
But hold on. If you had said left it in a house 20 years ago and are in the present time, would it not be in that house?
Not necessarily.
Right now.
You can't just leave things lying around. People move them, boy.
Where did you put the papers? In the time.
Certain locations, hidden locations. For instance, if I just left 20 years in the past a piece of paper down, and then 20 years later I expect it to be in the same place, well, that's rather
Unless you
far-fetched,
put it
isn't
in a chest, like under some underground somewhere, under sand, if you like buried it.
Yes.
Where?
Chests.
Okay, so is that what
So
you?
we don't need to time travel. We just have to know where you put it.
Yes.
Well, yes, true.
Yes. So tell us, Hermit, where did you put the papers?
I put them in Icewind Dale.
Inciting that. He stuttered a little bit.
Do we know what Icewind Dale is? Is that like a
I think
town?
that
or-
Icewind Dale is kind of to the north. It's an area to the north, but north of Luskan. We wouldn't know too much about it. I guess you could roll a history check if you want to know something about it.
I got a 20 and I'm trying to like see if he's trying to elude the actual details. He's just telling us a vague area.
Yeah, I mean,
suppose.
Icewind Dale is a pretty big area, so he hasn't given you like coordinates or anything, which you'll need, obviously. And then he continues and he says, holds you up above before you like stop it. And I gave them to the dwarves in Icewind Dale.
The dwarves.
Yes, the dwarves.
Can they be trusted?
Yes.
Are they part of the Brotherhood? Any of them?
No.
But
I
you can
couldn't
trust
give
them.
it to the Brotherhood because I stole it from the Brotherhood.
Dwarves are greedy. You know they're greedy. You don't think they can say these are artifacts and they can probably sell them.
I trust Rory the Elder.
But you trust that person how many years ago you time traveled. He might not be the same person now.
Dwarves keep their word, boy. If there's one thing that dwarves can do is they can stick to an oath.
I hope you're right about that.
If only you had when you were in the Brotherhood.
Keef.
I resent that comment.
You resemble that comment, Hermit.
I was trying to piss him off.
I did it for the safety of all of us. If Elian had been found, or is found...
It's not safe. We're not safe though. They've come back. And they're gathering the rats right now, and we
Exactly.
can't predict anything.
And the less pieces they have, the longer it takes them to put together, the better.
I suppose, but here's the real question. If they do emanate and they have an attack coming, are you going to be present? Are you going to help defend, or are you going to stay in this cave the whole time? You just don't give a hell.
I will do what is necessary.
What, stay in your cave?
No. I will do... Yes, I need to put on tea. I will do what is necessary as a ex-member of the Brotherhood. Although I'm sure they won't want me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hermit. Your time living in the cave's over, and we're going to have you come with us. If we're going to go to these dwarfs, they're not going to trust us. If they live to an oath, they're going to have to see the person that actually gave them. So, what happens, you're going to have to be coming with us anyway. So, I guess you're going to have to answer to Elion yourself.
I'm afraid that won't be happening. You see, if you want to travel all the way to Icewind Dale, it'll take you weeks. I can get you there in moments.
But how the... Okay, so give us something in writing or stamped or anything that you have that can say that we are on your behalf, because we're not going to go out there all this time and get refused.
Well, if you can get us there in moments, can't you get yourself there as well? Why don't we all just go?
That's a true point, actually.
I could travel with you, but I'd have to step through a different tear with no guarantee. You see, time travel, my boy, isn't a fine art. It's more of a rough guess. I can definitely get you within the area around the time when I was there before. But you see, me meeting me would be very, very bad.
Oh.
Okay,
see.
so
You
you're
meeting me
suggesting
would be
that you
fine.
can actually create a hole in time, and you can send us back to when you put it there?
Exactly. You see, that way we know that I don't have to rely on it being there for 20 years, you see?
But how do we get back?
Well, I'll be there, won't I, boy? When I travel back.
So
we
when
have
we
to
go back here...
You 20 years ago, or however long ago, to
Yeah, so we have to
give
come
us the
to you.
paper and to bring us to the present.
quite simply, what you do is you go back to the exact moment when I hid the paper.
Yeah.
I will be there or roundabouts, and I will.
And you
not
won't kill us?
recognize you. Why would I do that? And then
Because you
I
don't know.
show you something from me from this time, like an item which I have to prove that I sent you back.
Okay. All right. I see where this is going.
That way, I know that I can trust you in the past, and then I can take us back to the present day.
What can you give us to show
travel.
yourself? Like, what will stand out to you?
You don't really have much in this cave, to be
Only,
honest.
yeah, that only you will like acknowledge.
I have.
A six-legged squirrel.
That's not gonna prove it.
He goes and he takes off this like necklace which he has around his neck, and it's just got this kind of like simple animal's tooth on it, for like a predatory kind of canine sort of tooth. So I've had this since when I was a lad. So he hands it to you.
You can take it, Pearl.
Okay, I'll grab it and I'll actually put it on, but look good.
Looking
What do
hot.
you think? So actually, I'm like, hey,
No.
it's the surfing look. I'm actually gonna get is it like a piece of charcoal around if he's burnt like a fire?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna pick it up and on his wall. If you don't mind, I'm gonna actually write the time that I assume it is. And then when we come back from this time, I want to see actually how much time we've actually been away in the present time.
Sure.
So I can engage
here
him.
as well.
So I mean, I guess we don't know an estimate time, but
I mean, you could be like noon.
see the sun.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is it more like 1-ish, 2-ish?
Yeah, we'll say like just past noon. Is probably,
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll make a crude drawing of where the sun is in the sky.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Like,
Like, alright, so-
Drawn all over his wall.
Hey, he'll like it, you know.
It's art.
Yeah, it's art.
cave art. They'll find it thousands of years later.
Literally, yeah. Anything else you'd like to do, Keef? Because if we can somehow, I don't know. The point of putting this on the wall and estimating what time we come back is relative to how long we're actually in the past.
You're assuming we'll get back within hours. Like, it could be days or
But that's the point. Oh, yeah, you're true.
like
True.
you plant a damn tree and go by that, depending on.
Okay,
how
so
it
hold on.
depends on how good you are, Hermit. Like how it depends on
Been a
how
while.
precise of timing. How
Like
good
I
were
say,
you 20 years ago?
It's
Actually.
not a fine art.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably not going to bring us back within minutes. Like,
Okay, so let's recall how last night before we rested. Do I know where about the moon it was in the sky? Do I remember that?
I mean, maybe.
Do I have to do a history check on that? I guess.
it was up.
Yeah,
I mean,
you could
the
probably,
location.
just like, yes, you can remember about where it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a crescent moon in the full sky or something, you know.
Okay, so I'll just draw like a crescent moon and see. I mean, that gives us a good gist of days, I suppose.
Okay.
All right, now I'll look at him like, all right, is there anything else that we should need to know about this? Am I going to get my stomach ripped through my mouth when we do this, or?
I think, calling Hermit or Kermit, I think you should be fine. I mean, it's very disorienting the first time, so I'd be prepared for some odd happenings, potential sickness, wooziness. Be prepared for anything. Icewind Dale is not a hospitable land when I was there. And
So
you're
that's
looking
speaking of which.
You're looking for
what-
Jory the Elder. That's who
Oh.
I gave it to. Or
Okay.
looking for me.
What was his name? The Elder?
Jory, the Elder.
Jory the Elder. Okay.
And where in Icewind Dale is he? Like, just a rough. Like, where did you?
Yeah, it says he's up in the mountains where the dwarves live, but 10 towns is the nearby human settlement, which you'll be able to provide. Which will be able to provide provisions, gears, probably a ranger to lead you up there if needs be.
Okay.
It's
And what
also
kind of people are these
important-
dwarves?
What's that?
What kind of people are these dwarves? Are they aggressive? Are they You know,
The
are they
dwarves don't
hospitable?
like outsiders. It's true. But they are friends of the people of 10 Towns.
So what do they look like? Because if we're about the same size as them, pretend to be dwarfs.
I don't think we could pretend to be dwarfs. Like we're little.
We're small.
Look
They're
more like
small.
a dwarven child. Or
A dwarven child, yeah.
perhaps, maybe. I don't know. It's also important that you realize that anything that you do in your past will affect your future.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a good thing we don't live in Icewind Dale. We won't see ourselves and cause
Well,
a tear
boy,
in space-time
It's
continuum.
important that you don't make any big fuss or any big events happen, or even killing someone or something can have a huge effect upon the world. It's best to stay aloof and remain unnoticed. Now, if you do need to speak to someone, then try and be as forgettable as possible.
Okay.
As little impact as you can have upon the world is very, very important. If you get injured, if you have a scar, and you'll find it in years in the future when you return. If you kill someone, their entire family never existed, and maybe you never existed. Who knows? The universe has a strange way of dealing with interruptions. It's time, so be careful.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the heads up on that.
Welcome. Thank you to Rybast. Fantastic. Welcome, my friend, to the adventure. You're a gentleman and a scholar, so hermit to hermit. Kermit hermit, who knows?
Kermit the Hermit here.
You must time travel. He says, "Are you ready to think to set off?"
I think I'm ready. Are you?
Before we go, anything we have on us we'll take with us, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna give me 5 minutes and I'm gonna run out of the hut. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run out of the hut. I'm gonna grab a bunch of moss.
No.
I'm gonna go look for the moss. And I'm gonna get a bunch in my bag. As much as you'll allow me to find at this point, like I'll go for a nice hefty dosage of this medicinal herb.
You know what? Keeflin, before you leave, get one of the squirrels too. Because if we can bring back a squirrel and make it populate in this area in the past, that means those squirrels will live in Icewind Dale in the future, you know?
No, I'm not introducing a foreign species.
You should! That would be fun!
I said don't do
What did I
anything
say
major.
about...
That's not major, it's just fucking squirrels running around.
Yeah, that's what they thought when they brought over the I don't know, plugged some animal
Actually,
into...
squirrels, like over in England, like grey squirrels
red,
killed
yeah.
all like red ones and stuff. So there's actually a fair parallel.
I'm not introducing a foreign species into their ecosystem.
We're going to kill everyone. He
Alright.
puts squirrel in Icewind Dale, world explodes.
It's just an overrun ecosystem of just squirrels. No, there's no other animals. Yeah, just violent, crazy squirrels.
Mutant squirrels just murdering everyone.
How would you like me to put in for the moss? Like how much am I able to find? Would you like me to roll
like
anything?
several handfuls, like I don't know, like
A few ounces? 2 ounces of the premium?
The perp.
How many baggies?
God damn it.
Full of that good. All right.
That's true, Will, actually. It was the red squirrels that got kicked out by the grey squirrels,
That's
right? in
right,
England?
yeah.
Yeah.
Red squirrels got fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Squirrel biological warfare.
Yeah. You gotta be ready. So Kermit the Hermit says, "Are you ready, then?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna sneak one of those squirrels in my bag.
Very well. Now, what was the spell? What was the spell? It was Stratos PVM. Welcome, my friend, to the adventure. You are a gentleman and a scholar. What a segue. What was that spell? How did it go? How did it...
This is not a good sign, Hermit.
It's one beginning with...
Oh my god, we're dead.
No, I remember it well. It's just I can't remember how it starts. It's once I get it going, it's... And then he like clicks his fingers, and then like kind of opens up this tear. It's actually like this green tear with Spork RS written all over it. Welcome, my friend, to the adventure. You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Yeah, and it's just like this kind of green glowing portal in front of you, which you can like see him through, kind of, but he's standing on the other side of it. Just step in, and you'll find yourself in another place.
Do I notice this portal as the one we saw in the sewers, or is it different?
It's a different colour. It's got similarities to it. I mean, the one there was like red and had like a lot of blood kind of imagery and stuff to it. This one's like green and fairly like natural. You get the smells of like wood pine and like forest coming from it, which like is the smell kind of pervading around this place in general. But you sense that maybe that's to do with the hermit's like own magic coming from it.
Okay.
So it's like certain style of magic is like nature.
Alright, so I'll go up and I'll put my hand through and bring back out.
As he's doing that, I'm gonna shove him through the portal. Get going! And I'll like kind of jump in behind him.
Yep. So it's a very kind of weird, feel like you've been tumble dried, just like chucked in and like tumbled around hundreds of times. You feel really kind of nauseous. If you have any like fears like vertigo and stuff, you feel vertigo at the same time, and like as if your body is moving through. Like it's almost like, you know, that feeling you get when you're in a lift, and you can feel like you're moving, but you're not actually. Nothing is actually moving. You're getting that weird kind of motion sickness feeling. And as you head through, there's kind of just like 2 or 3 seconds of this really, really nauseous feeling, and then you find yourselves sat down in chairs in what appears to be some kind of gentleman's club. There's kind of butlers everywhere, kind of waiting. It's like really like plush wood on the floor. There's like old paintings of some very nice vistas, and there is what appears to be a gnome sitting at a desk with a very prim and proper suit and tie, and handlebar moustache coming up, and he's writing on what appears to be like a register on this desk with a very fine quill, and there's like 2 doors out, you know, one on the left, one on the right, where the kind of butlers are waiting, all suit and tied up, and you know, like polished boots and everything. Probably like the finest place that you guys might ever have been in. And the little gnome kind of looks up his desk at the 2 of you sitting down in these wooden chairs. He's, newcomers. That happens a lot.
Ugh. Sorry.
Now then. If you need a bucket, Paul here will see for your bucket. Paul. He clicks and Paul.
How are you
like
not sick?
A bucket.
He was always the weaker one.
That's why I was out first, right?
Now then, gentlemen, is this your first time through the Astral Plane?
I don't know why my mouth. Yes.
Looking around like I'm not even sure if I'm alive anymore at this point. You know, like
Wait. Astral. Astral. What?
You're on the Astral Plane, my dear lad. This is a different plane of existence. You might have heard of it, but you know, if you're not really time travelers of any kind, or
No,
I don't
we,
see your names on the register.
we were under the
after
impression we were just gonna arrive at our destination. He mentioned
all. Oh boy,
nothing
things
of
have changed.
plane.
Oh, you knew.
Boys, things have changed quite a bit here in the past 10 or so years. I can tell that you really haven't read up on the most recent scriptures, have you? Now then.
No.
No, I didn't think so.
I was scrubbing the sewers a week ago, so.
Oh, how delightful. I've no idea what those are, but they sound great. Now then, what are your names, my friends?
They're looking like shit.
I'm Pearl. My name's Pearl.
Oh, really?
Pearl Onyx Arm.
Mhm.
This is my brother, Keef.
Keef, Onyx, what?
Keef Onyx Arm.
What?
I see. My
Yeah.
name is Phineas Fig, and I am your helper for today.
What?
Yes,
I am
will-
so confused.
Our helper. Okay, help us get to where we were going then.
all in-
Can you help me understand?
All in good time, yes. Where are you headed to, my lads? Where is your destination?
Icewind Dale.
Icewind Dale, and what exactly year are you looking for in Icewind Dale? When are you looking to go there for?
Oh God. He didn't say how long ago.
Yeah, really? Well, I can put you 5 years ago, or
No,
the
God, he
second
didn't
month of the
say.
3rd year, or
Do we remember when Elion told us that he stole the pages?
he said 20 years ago?
20 years ago or so?
This is so bad.
20 years to the day, or any particular day 20 years ago that you're looking for?
Okay.
You're not very helpful, helper.
Well, I can only help so much, my friend. My name's Phineas. If you'd like to use my full name, Phineas Fig.
Alright, you know what? I think before we screw this up, why don't we just go back to the present and find out?
No, because then shit.
And he can, again, and tell
Once
us
he-
where we're
Well, you
supposed
do
to
get
go.
one free travel pass before before the charges are incurred. So if you wish to travel back and use your free journey, then you may.
Hold on. Let's just think about this for a second. Elion said that the pages were stolen.
Well, here's an even bigger. Like, why do we have to go back to the specific time he gave it to him? We have. Oh, because we have to. Oh shit. Okay. Time travel.
Did he say any event was going on? Like any special dwarven event? What did he put the page in? He put it in a chest.
He said he gave it to
He gave it
Rory
to-
the Elder. He
Okay,
did.
let's ask him about Jordan the Elder. So,
Yes.
Jordan the Elder, what do you know about him?
Let me look through the annals, I suppose. And he kind of flips up in his desk, and there's a big bunch of books. Jordan, dwarf. You're looking for a dwarf?
Yes,
Jordan,
Jordan the
yes,
Elder,
from
the
Icewind
dwarf,
Dale.
yes.
Yes. Okay, came into rulership 23 years ago. Still alive in present day.
Okay, so he said he was the leader, so 23 years ago,
Sounds about right, isn't it?
and 20 years ago the pigs were stolen. So, safe to say maybe 22 years ago?
You want to be 22 years ago at Icewind Dale.
No,
No.
don't
No.
do that just yet.
Bro, what the fuck? I mean, Cave.
Fuck.
Yeah, he raises an eyebrow at that.
Alright.
He makes a note and like switches them around.
Shit. Okay. What do you want to do? We can guesstimate this or we go back. I mean, I think going back is so like.
The
It,
safe
it,
route?
it makes us look so incompetent.
Well, he didn't tell us what time. He didn't say the date. It's his incompetence.
Is he an older gent, an older traveller? You see, they used to do it rather more funny way. They didn't used to have this, us here in between. So you see, the portal which he created would have taken you to whatever time he fought. But of course, we are now here in the middle because of the astral fees involved.
Okay, so back up. If you could intercept the travel,
Yes.
what date did he set this for?
Yeah, I have no
Really?
idea.
You can't see that?
Well, I'd have to
Here's-
incur some astral fees for that.
Here's an idea.
Astral fees.
Are you
We-
a premium user?
We know the pages were stolen 20 years ago, correct?
Yes.
Why don't we just go back a little bit further and go warn Elion
About the page
Of-
being stolen.
of
Yeah.
Kermit the Hermit that's going to steal them, and before it even happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go back. It doesn't even matter at this point how far. I mean, he's been in the organization for a long time. We could really go back to any point and warn him, and we have the necklace to show that, you know, like we've clearly met.
That we've been with him.
Yeah, the Kermit the Hermit. So why don't we just go back? Let's say 25 years.
And where
And-
exactly would you like to travel to?
At this point, we could just go. Can we go to any location that you know, or is it just
Well,
like
your
a,
destination route is to Icewind Dale, so anything else would, of course, incur some astral fees.
Oh, fuck me. How much is the astral fee? Is it astronomical?
But no, they are most reasonable,
Yeah.
most reasonable prices, you see.
you know?
and he kind of like goes like this little sheet, and it just has like this sheet of different like percentages on. And like this kind of table of different like percentages and stuff on, and it seems like they're kind of put into like different rounds almost. Oh, I forgot you're new here, aren't you? You wouldn't understand any of this because you haven't done your basic training. Well, that here is the game of Cadelran, which we all play here on the Astral Plane. Now, Cadelran, which I assume I'm going to have to explain, yes. Cadelran is a game of tactical wit and strategy, which all the greats play. And of course, if you win or lose in games of Cadelran, then you, of course, lose parts of your soul, and then you can win different parts of souls each time that
What?
you win or lose. And of course, for every astral fee, you are involved in a game of Cadelran at some point in time.
You're doing the game. If we're doing this, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not losing part of my soul.
I noticed you guys don't have any moss here in the astral plane. Would you be willing to waive the fees for maybe for
Oh,
some?
my friend, we have no need of material goods. You see, we here can travel to whatever place and time that we wish to.
Okay,
But I appreciate the
I will
offer.
play the game. I'm sure I can outmatch
Well, you don't even need to play it now. You simply need to sign up to a game, and when a partner is ready and you've been matched, then you will, of course, be summoned to play the game.
Is there any I'd rather just get it over with. Is there any available at the moment?
I'm afraid not, sir.
No.
Our clients are rather busy, but throughout the next period of your life, you will, of course, be summoned to at least one game of Cadelran for the
Okay,
fee
I'll
change.
sign up. You can sign me up,
Or,
Pearl.
of course, I can
Onyx Arm.
also...
Wait, no. No.
No!
No.
Yes,
And now
I am aware of the name confusion.
Damn it!
Fuck you.
Now,
Come on.
and he says, so would you like to know the exact date of your Icewind Dale travel?
Well, we don't want to go to Icewind
You
Dale.
don't want to go
We
there
want to
anymore?
go
Luskan.
to Luskan.
Luskan? Oh,
25 years in the past.
5 years ago to Luskan.
See, wait, hold on though.
And how do you plan on
Or
returning
20
here?
do you want to go 25?
One second, Pig.
21?
Just hear me out.
Yeah.
If time travel dictates what the future is, right? If we go back and we tell Aeon about him taking the pages, right?
Yeah.
A fly effect happens and you still take the pages, but in a different way. So
No, you're talking time travel in one universe. This has the potential to be like parallel universes. So there's still a universe happening here on this linear line, but it branches off into a new one. So like when we travel we basically branch off and create a new parallel universe. Like, just because it's happened in the universe we're in doesn't mean when we go back and change things that it still happens in the future in the new parallel universe.
But do you know enough about time travel to say that the effect of what we're going to do is inevitable, whether we change it or not?
And now you're talking fate. If you believe in that, then no matter what we do, it's already happened, and it's going to happen.
So if we go back and we tell Elion he hides the sheets, something changes and he can find the sheets anyway.
If you believe everything is predetermined. See, I don't. You may, but if we go and tell him now, like,
but how would
what happened in the previous future that we were just in may never have happened in this new parallel universe.
But if the gatherers attacked and we're still alive, that means fate dictated that we succeeded
in that universe.
But it might be already be fate that we already succeeded.
Not like this. I think you've been smoking too much of that moss, bro.
I'm just saying that whatever happens, it might just be inevitable that he steals.
It's okay. So there's no guarantee either way, but there is a guarantee that Sinuan has followed. Welcome, my friend, to the adventure. A gentleman and a scholar. But as I was saying, there's no guarantee that if you do this, then effects in the present day are going to change. That he never stole the papers, etc., etc. That would still mean that you'd have to travel back in present time, all the way back to Luskan again, to go to Elion to get him with the pages. Also, there is a possibility that you can be stuck in the past for 25 years if you don't meet Elion, if he isn't in Luskan at that time, because you've no guarantee that he's lived in Luskan 25 years ago. There's no guarantee that he is going to be there in town 25 years ago. So you're playing a big risk.
I thought that he resided there for a long time, you know, in the Arcane Brotherhood. From our initial conversations, I thought
you certainly know that he's been in Luskan for a long time. But you know, as a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, they travel through time, etc. So it's not necessarily guaranteed that it's going to be there as well. So I'm giving you a kind of devil's bargain between two choices. It's not.
But see, here's as well. If he doesn't steal the pages, then we were never needed to go and get the pages. So we're indirectly eliminating our own timeline.
It's possible.
I think this is an amazing twist of fate. Just saying.
All right. So why don't you make it up to chat? Do we go back?
Well, I'm completely okay if you're interested in letting them use as a twist of fate, whether we go to Icewind Dale and try and get a time frame for that, or to go back and try and prevent it from ever happening in the beginning, like as far as them taking the pages.
All right, I'm drawing up.
All right, I'll be right back real quick.
Sure. Twist of fate. They go to Icewind Dale. I love
this is a pretty major decision. We could get stuck in the past for 25 years, or we could end up, not really sure what time to go to in Icewind Dale as well.
Yeah. I mean, neither way is the right option, which is the fun part. And thank you so much to Adamantiax for following up, my friend. To the adventure, you are a gentleman and a scholar, sir. So let's go get this. Vote on. Go ahead and vote, guys. What do you want them to do? They've got a choice between going back to Icewind Dale. Well, they know that the hermit guy is somewhere there in the past to get the papers back, or they can attempt to go all the way back 25 years ago or so, before they were stolen, to Luskan, where they don't know that Elion or the hermit are. They don't know that the papers necessarily are either, so they're running both big risks both ways because they don't have the exact dates. Although they do know the exact date of when to travel back in Icewind Dale if they so choose to ask Phineas Fig and use the astral fees to do so. So it's up to you.
That's such a hard choice.
They're the best kind. So there's some strong votes for Icewind Dale. So I'll let you guys carry on your kind of debate, I guess, or your thinking.
Okay.
Whilst we get some votes in.
All right. So, say we go back to Luskan. We tell Elion that Kermit the Hermit is going to come and try to steal the pages. He hides the pages, and then we travel back. We can't just stay in the past. We travel back, and then we go back and like, hey, Elion, we did it for you. Like, what the hell are you on about? We had no idea what you're talking about. And then we never get to the point that we're needing, like him needing us. But there's one thing that we can say is that the portal that we saw in the sewers, if he has all the pages to predict that happening, maybe that doesn't happen at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of maybes in there. I say let's go to Icewind Dale. As far as trying to find a time frame, we don't know specifically when to go, correct? Like he didn't tell us. Let's just do the smart thing here, especially, just
so that's not in our hands anymore. But sure.
No, well, no, the boat I already looked at. The boat is for Icewind Dale. So why don't we just go back to the hermit, find the correct date, we get a freebie, and we can move on to Icewind Dale and know we're going to the right time frame.
But do you still have to play that game?
No, that was only if we change where we're going.
Yeah, so if you wish to know the exact date of where your portal was going to, I can look that up.
Oh, you can tell us for the game. Okay.
For a small astral fee. It would only be a 10% staked game after all. So if you lost, you'd barely
10% of my soul?
10% of his soul, that's less than 100%.
I'm a halfling, so is that only 5% of a normal soul?
If you won, you would have 10% of the loser's soul. And they can be very high-staked players. For instance, there are whispers that some of the gods themselves play this game.
So tell me, what happens when one loses 10% of their soul?
Oh, there are some side effects, of course. Mostly moral ambiguity, and one has been said that if one doesn't have a soul, then traveling through time can be difficult, as much more is lost from the body itself. If there is no soul in a man, then it is difficult for him to cross through astral barriers, which require soul verification. But that's only towards the lower levels. And of course, if one has no soul, then he becomes a husk of a man. That's the stakes we play for, though. The more souls you have, the more powerful you become. The less you have, the less powerful you become.
He doesn't have a heart, so I guess he can lose his soul too if he wants.
Very good.
Oh.
Very good stuff. Very good.
So say when you lost it, what happens if you gain someone's soul?
You would gain some of the power of the loser.
Huh.
Alright, sign me up. I
well.
believe.
You know what? If he's signing up, I'm signing up. Let's do a 2v2 on this
We'll
game.
save it for the next time we have to. I have a feeling this is not going to be the last time we time travel. Let's not give away any more of our soul than we have to.
Give away once we gain.
It's true. We have the best luck.
Skill and strategy, my friends. If you'd like to sign up, Mr. Pearl, you may.
Can you sign up now, but like get a freebie later on down the road for traveling? Can you just like kind of preemptively pay?
Yes, I will allow this.
Yeah, all right.
Very well.
Sure, sign me up. Let me note that down.
Note your name down, scroll it on.
And
so
the game is called...
the game is called Cadelram.
Cadelram.
Oh, we have 2 people signed up. Can we go against each other?
That would be highly irregular.
No,
I'm gonna take Pearl's soul.
Give it back.
Give me back my soul.
Cadelram. All right.
Yeah, Modok will love this game.
Cadelram. Got it.
Now, so you'd like to know the exact date of your portal travel to Icewind Dale?
Yes.
Sure. And he kind of looks through from his figures. You very well. A fine year. We shall see you there. We hope that you have a pleasant journey.
Well, before you send us, can you send us a few days before the date so we have a little extra time?
Of course.
Yeah, just maybe like 2 days prior, Pearl. You think that's yeah, that'll give us time to like kind of
look around,
find the person. That way we're not rushed to like get there right as he's giving the stuff.
Sounds most prudent, sir.
Yeah, give us a couple extra days.
Okay, is there anything else I can help you with, gentlemen?
No, you've been
most helpful.
very helpful.
I try my best. Now then, we hope that you enjoy your stay in Icewind Dale, and we hope to one day see you again in present time.
Oh, you're gonna see us for the kill round, apparently. So.
Very good, sir. If you'd like to close your eyes, gentlemen.
Okay, I'm gonna close my mouth and brace again. Like,
Yeah, ready?
I'm ready for launch.
Yeah, as you close your eyes, you're kind of taken out of this place that you're in, and it suddenly become very, very cold. And you hear the kind of sounds of the kind of gentleman's club fade away, and you hear the whistling of the wind. You hear the kind of howling of it across the wastes, and as you kind of open your eyes, you're no longer like sitting in chairs anymore. You're just out in the frozen wastes of Icewind Dale. There's kind of huge range of mountains just to your west, and as you kind of the sun is like glistening off the kind of the peaks of the mountains, which are kind of tipped with snow. You kind of shade your eyes, and you can see off down towards the south. There is indeed what seems like a kind of large town, or kind of groups of towns. It all seem to be connected, and there are indeed like ranges of mountains just kind of set behind them, which are so huge that you would recognize these to be the spine of the world, as they're known, the spine of the world mountains. And they kind of like block off like the upper region of the Sword Coast, and that's presumably where the dwarves are told to live. But the town itself is probably a day's walk from where you are. I mean, you're across like waste, so you can see it across this tundra, but actually getting there on foot through snow is going to be a slog. And you immediately notice that it's very cold here.
Okay. Again? Jesus.
it's like free. Like
You haven't even eaten anything. What are you vomiting?
it's dry vomit. I'm hungry though.
All right. Can you conjure anything to provide us with heat while we're traveling, Pearl?
Let me look on my spell list. I do. Well, I attempt to cast a firebolt, so if we can get some wood, I can make a campfire. But here's the thing. When we got moved here in time, is this where the meeting spot is, where he gave the sheets to the dwarf? Because we need to make a mental note of this place.
I don't think so. I think it's just not like he couldn't pinpoint us like right to.
But he never said where.
Yeah, he said he gave it to him in Icewind Dale.
Yeah, but that's. I look around. How big is this place? Where?
Oh, on the spine, up in the mountains where they reside. Jory, they're not just gonna come out here in the tundra to hand off paper like they.
So you think he went all the way up to the settlement and gave it to him there?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, why did we not ask him more questions?
Because we're learning. We're not like the best. We're not used to adventuring. We're not.
You're not time travelers.
Yeah, we were claiming stars.
To ask these questions in the future.
We should probably have asked this. All right, so if we know Jory lives in this settlement, maybe we should just camp out him trying to come back in 2 days.
Well,
He's
we
gonna
have
to go back eventually.
Why don't we head towards 10 Towns? We can get some information about how to get to Icewind Dale specifically, like to get up there on the spine, of the world, to where they reside, and then once we get there, we can talk to them.
Okay, so we
have a few extra days, so we're good.
Getting through the snow is gonna be an issue if we want to try to get down to that village, unless we can make a sledge of some sort. How about I just ride your back, and you can be the sledge?
How about I fucking knock you unconscious and leave you?
I'll let you fucking try. Two halflings are squabbling in the snow.
Yeah, I mean, as you're like just sitting there talking, and like your extremities, like your fingers start to like get really like blue.
Are there any like trees or anything, or are we just kind of out in the middle of just barren?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start conjuring a little bit of heat for myself and like have a little flame going. You cold over there?
No, I've got like a lantern. I'm gonna light the lantern and like kind of hold it and try and keep my hands from falling off at this point, and heading towards. You said it's like a day's travel.
Yeah, it looks like at least a day's travel is gonna take.
This isn't gonna work.
God, how about this? How about you get your bedroll out and let's use it as a sledge?
A sled? My bedroll.
Yes.
My cloth bedroll as a sled.
It'll slide.
Have you ever been on a sled, Paul?
You can do it. I mean, it's not... Alright, fine.
You know what? But I have an idea. I am going to take my bedroll, right? Well, I'm going to take my bedroll, and the way I imagine it is kind of like a sleeping bag, if you will. Is that a fair assessment? Okay. So there's one hole on it. I'm going to kind of like jump into it. Kind of like a potato sack. No, before I do that,
this is not going to go well.
I'm going to cut 2 slots on the side that doesn't have an open hole for like my feet to go through. And I'm going to like use it as kind of like a potato sack, almost like an additional layer of warmth.
Oh.
So my legs will stick out the bottom. I'll pull this thing up around me and start heading there with my little lantern.
Shoveling through, okay.
I'm gonna do the smart idea and take out one of my torches and light one of my torches and just hold it.
Okay.
No, whilst Keef looks like a walking potato sack.
A warm walking potato sack, though. Thank you.
Roasted potato. Okay. So why don't you guys roll me some Constitution saving throws?
Okay.
As you're headed through this frosty wasteland. What's up, priest?
Hey,
good rolls there, boys. Yeah.
Nice.
20 and 21 from the two of you. Okay, for some reason, it's working thus far. It's probably the kind of like initial. You haven't gotten used to like the shock from the cold hasn't really like set in. It hasn't really like managed to get into like your bones yet, and so it's just like the extremities which are feeling cold. I mean, you guys feel really cold, but the wind is also fairly low in this kind of little kind of place that you're in, and so you're not you don't have the howling wind like directly on you. I mean, you can hear it. You also see packs of creatures, almost wolf-like creatures in the distance. Not like directly towards you, but you can also hear them kind of howling on the wind and stuff. They look like they're bigger than wolves, and they from this site you can't really get too much from them, but they're just much more powerful and muscular wolves rather than that kind of sleek, thin kind of nature that wolves have, especially when they haven't eaten a lot. But these things seem like they're kind of big and muscly, but they're still part of like the cat family. It looks like from these ones rather than dogs and stuff. So yes, you guys are saying in chat, it's either there's a town up ahead like a day's travel away, or you can try and look for shelter, but it seems like it's kind of icy kind of tundra at this point.
Yeah, it's just barren, open, nothing. There's no tree lines anywhere or
No
anything.
trees around here.
No,
Tell you what, Keeflink. Why don't we find shelter? We make a trap for the wolves. Okay, like dig a hole, put like some food over the top. You got one of the squirrels, I think, and then lure them to it. Let it fall down the hole. Tie one of our ropes around the neck, and then we can use it as like a to pull us.
Yeah, sure. Find us some shelter, Pearl.
I'll look around. Do I see anything but snow?
Any shelter anywhere?
Yes.
Hello, anyone offering shelter out here?
The nearest.
Like a cave, like opening.
Get your shelter here. Yeah. You see, the closest thing that you're looking for shelter is like the mountain range, which is like back the way you came. Like since I think it's to the west, and you're heading down to the south. So, if you started heading southwest, you could go towards those mountains, and there might be caves in there, in which you could stay, which are like on the way to your destination of the town. But it would take you longer to go over towards the southwest and then get towards the town. But if that's worth it.
So we're kind of going like this way and then back to the town instead of just straight shotting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's not a terrible idea. If we'll get to a potential shelter a little bit quicker, we have extra couple days, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. You cool with that?
Sure. I mean, we don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah. Let's make haste. We'll move double time towards.
If I see that fig guy again, he's getting a slap for putting his out here.
So then, let us roll me one more Constitution saving throw as you're headed towards these caves, because it's getting real cold over here.
Oh no!
And the wind is far more harsh. So 16 from Keef and a 6 from Paul. So yeah, the torch, you're having trouble like keeping it alight because the wind is just so fierce. It's kind of like guttering it out, and then you're having to like relight it and stuff, and your hands are getting cold. So you can't like strike a flint or anything. Yeah, you begin to really suffer from the chill, and you can start to feel, like the first effects of like frostbite starting to sit into like your fingers and toes and stuff, because you're just not properly protected in such a hazardous sort of environment. And you've been out here for hours now, so hours out in really cold conditions without proper gear, you're gonna end up starting to get like
looking cold over there, Pearl.
Yeah, maybe if you, I wasn't a walking potato sack like you. How are your feet looking over there, Keef? You didn't protect your feet on the snow, did you?
No, but I'm still all right.
Keep looks down, like his finger, like his toes are all like
toes like
frosted
fucking
off.
blue and like snapping off.
Black. I've had a bit of a race change, but other than that.
Have you been able to feel your feet for the past hour, Keith? Can you feel them?
Can I? All right, I'm gonna push him into the snow.
Alright, so...
Little did they know that list is one pushing into snow would have huge effects on the world 20 years later.
That snow angel changed the entire
Changed
world.
everything. Making a note of this, okay. So, I mean, you can try and push him down in that snow if you want.
Nah,
Okay.
I'll just kind
I
of
think-
keep at him for his smart ass comments while he's over there freezing and I'm cold but not dying.
Dragging out the rear. You want to share that bedroll here?
Alright, continue heading on towards the rocks there.
Alright, what's up, Tracy? Walks in, rolls in that 20. Good D. So yeah, you guys like make it towards like the mountain line, like in a mountain range. It probably takes you about half the day to get there. So you're starting to lose light, and the howls of these creatures begin to gain kind of intensity, I guess. And you get the feeling that you might be being followed by them because the howls continue. But then at the same time, as the light's fading, it's hard to see them because they kind of they blend in so well. They're camouflage creatures, so they're like frosty coloured, like white and icy, and so it's very hard to see them moving. And the nature of the kind of environment you're in means that the howls can kind of like echo and distort sound, especially of the wind. So it's hard to tell, but you do come towards the mountain range, and I guess at this point you're looking for some kind of cave or some kind of shelter.
Some overhang or cave structure formation, something of some sort of protection.
Okay, why don't you guys roll me survival checks, because you're hunting for some kind of natural cave formation.
There you go. You haven't even +3 on that survival check.
Yeah, that could have been a lot better.
Okay then, so 16 from Pearl. So let's say that Pearl, as you're like hunting out, but Keith actually kind of doesn't notice this because he's heading off much quicker than you at this point because he's not freezing to death. But you're kind of lagging behind, and when you spot there is like a tiny little alcove in the cave, which is very hard to spot. And you wouldn't notice it unless you'd kind of just stopped there, basically. And it appears that there's a kind of little cave leading deeper in, which you can just make out with the kind of faint light of your torch before it gets like blown out again, and for the 50th time you're gonna have to strike it to light it up. So yeah.
Keep.
What now, Pearl?
I'll start pointing. Over there.
And I'll like glance in the area that he's pointing. Do I see it at this point?
Yeah, you see it.
Okay.
That too, yeah.
All right, I'll start making my way over towards that, like kind of like that moment where you finally have a glimpse of like hope, and you just kind of like used every bit of all that kind of burst of motivation to just haul ass over there.
Yeah. The last bit of adrenaline when you see the end is near, hopefully, and you kind of step into this little cave. I mean, it's only narrow enough for like one abreast, even for little halflings like you. You come into this kind of thin, narrow little tunnel, which kind of opens up into a slightly more open little cave area, which looks like it goes deeper and deeper down. So you're not entirely sure how far this thing actually goes.
This is gonna kind of be an odd question, but does it smell like you would expect like an animal den to smell at this point? You know what I mean?
Roll me like a perception check, because your nose is shot to pieces from...
Damn.
So I mean, you can like not smell at this point, basically.
Okay.
I'll make a perception check if I have my torch lit and see if there's anything on the ground, like bones or maybe like nesting kind of stuff.
Yep, that works for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's no like obvious signs of kind of use, I suppose, and you'd probably suspect it might be too narrow an entrance for like these big cat-like creatures that you saw before to like necessarily enter. But I mean, you do find the odd bone lying around here, but it doesn't have like kind of like musky kind of animal smell that creatures have been living in here.
Before we go down too deep, I'm gonna kind of pack snow around the entrance to like kind of hide the entryway. Like I'm assuming that this.
How big's the entryway?
Said it was just big enough for one of us to squeeze through it.
Okay.
I can't imagine it's hard to kind of like pack a bunch of snow around and kind of like funnel some into the entryway and kind of pack it and block it all off.
Do you want me to make a campfire whilst you're doing this?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'm gonna pull out the sapling I picked off the island, break it into little sticks and stuff, and then just light it.
All right then. So you guys head up to set camp and everything. You start a little fire going, finally get some warmth into your hands to get the kind of striking a flint going. You manage to pack some stuff up to kind of, basically block the entrance. Most of the wind is the problem, really, because it's like a wind tunnel down here. You got to stop some of this up and, you get shelter from the wind. Probably takes you like an hour or so to get all this done, and you're finally starting to feel like a bit more human again. But of course, you're just absolutely shattered because, walking through harsh terrain is just not fun, especially when you're doing for a whole day. So you guys are probably just starting to fall asleep. Are you guys going to take any kind of watches, or is there anything in particular you're doing? Because there's still a tunnel leading off down there.
Back up. You said that there was a wind tunnel.
Essentially, the tunnel which you came through, which I believe Keef was blocking up, right?
Yeah, the entryway.
Yeah, that was the tunnel of wind which I'm talking about, basically.
If you're feeling wind pass by us, that means there's an exit inside this tunnel. That wind has to go somewhere. So wherever this comes out might be a different place, but this is actually not just a one-way tunnel.
All right. Well, we can definitely check it at some point before we leave if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to.
At this point, we're in no condition to go.
No, absolutely not.
So
this is not a dead-end tunnel.
Let's rest and how about you can sleep first and I'll take the first watch.
Yeah.
Wake you up in. How long do you need again for a long rest?
It's 8 hours.
8 hours of rest. And can you do that in increments? Like, can you sleep for 4 and then be awake for 4 and then sleep for 4?
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah.
Okay. To make this I guess as simple as possible.
Okay. In that case, if
I don't think it would make any difference, honestly, if we did an 8 or not.
If we get our spell slots back in that case, I'm going to put my hands on the floor and then use burning hands and just warm the floor up.
Nice. Get some nice kind of central heating from the floor.
Yeah, like
Geothermal heating, yeah. I like it.
all right, and then I'll get my bedroll up, like, all right, nice and cozy by the fire.
Alright then. So, on your perception check, Paul, I'm going to give you a disadvantage, and that's because you're so tired, just the two of you, from traveling. So the effort to stay awake is so much harder than it would normally be. So roll me a perception check. I'll take the lowest result.
Including me.
Who was taking the first watch? Right, I thought that was Pearl. Was that?
I'll take the first
Okay,
watch.
Keef, you roll me the check then.
Perception on disadvantage?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, come on. Oh,
14,
could have been
not
that
20.
you would.
So close and yet so far. So yeah, your first kind of like stint, your first couple of hours, you managed to like stay awake despite all of your kind of desires to close your eyes. And there's very little other than like the crackling of the fire, and like there's like some water dropping from the ceiling, like frozen. And other than that, that sound is just kind of starting to send you to sleep when it's the end of your watch.
Okay.
Does he wake me up though? If he falls asleep on his watch?
I mean, you're starting to fall asleep. You can wake up, Pearl, before you do so.
Yeah, as I'm kind of like realizing it's been a while and
Yeah.
I'm nodding off, it's like I'll just kind of walk over to Pearl, shake him a little bit. Get up, bitch.
5 more minutes.
No.
I'm gonna rub my eye later. Fine. Is the campfire still lit or is it out by now?
It's going down at this point, but you can stoke it.
Alright, I'll look if I can see if I can rotate the wood a little bit, make it back up again.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so run me your perception check there, Paul.
Okie doke.
You take this watcheroo here, and you guys can spend your healing surges if you need to. I think you guys are probably at full, just recovering from the exhaustion. So on the 11, Paul, you're just beginning to like nod off as you're like starting to campfire.
Sorry, Keef.
Yeah, sorry. This fire is so warm and this blanket is so...
Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Would not the question, but would he be at a disadvantage after resting? Like, that
Yeah,
was
so
because
because
of
you only got so many hours rest.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, yeah. So just as you're like float off, you hear like a rock move or something. So you know when like you just like your head goes down and you jolt back up again. You hear like a rock move, and you look back up again, and you appear to be surrounded by several figures. There are 4 of them. They're tall, thin, dark-skinned creatures, humanoids, with kind of like white shocks of hair, wearing this kind of dark, sexy kind of emo leathers. Very kind of edgelordy, and they all carry swords. They all appear to be male, kind of long, kind of delicate, and like pointed, barbed, like really. Like horrible looking weapons. Like these things aren't just meant to like kill, they're clearly used for some kind of torture as well. And they have these kind of like hand crossbows, mechanically like wired onto their arms, kind of Assassin's Creed style.
Okay.
And there are just these 5 guys kind of standing around a campfire, and you realize that you don't have your weapons on you. Your kind of equipment is in one of them's possession.
I'm gonna hold up my hands like, so is there any chance that we can talk this out?
One of them like kicks Keef awake very rudely. They're gonna kick.
Fuck off, Paul.
That isn't me, Keef.
No, jump
We
away.
have
Snap
some...
to it.
Do you guys want some lambus bread? No. I'll take your silence as
You can have the moss.
we do
While you're-
actually have moss. If you'd be interested in Puff passing around this campfire. It is a nice night. So
Taking a screenshot of that, it's pretty funny. So you guys...
Hands up, don't shoot.
they don't immediately reply, but then one replies in a very kind of broken common. It's not clearly his like first language. He's like a foreign speaker of it, and he kind of steps forward and says, "What do you want?"
To not die. We were just trying to survive. We were cold and.
Did we step into your home? I mean, it's a lovely home. I mean, if you look, I love the decor. Very rustic. I love that weapon. It looks...
Silence!
Okay.
How did you find the entrance?
I saw it.
Looked with our eyes. We were outside.
Trying to hide it. I can give some tips.
They start like talking in Drow. And then one of them, the same guy asked, "Why are you so small?"
We were born like this. We're halflings.
I mean,
have you never seen a halfling before?
We're good at multiple things that require small things of people.
People use us to get into small spaces. And...
We're good at chimney cleaning.
Yeah.
If you know what chimney is.
Yeah, he's just like trying to like say halfling, trying to get his kind of mouth around this new word.
So
I kind of instruct him like, say
halfling,
and then ling.
Spies.
No.
Who sent you?
Pearl, onyx arm. I see onyx is the color of your skin. So we are of relation.
Wow.
I mean,
that's racist.
That's not racist.
That's so drows.
Our name is the color of your skin, so.
I mean, that's
so
related.
you should like us, right?
Hello.
Oh man, that's hilarious. He's like,
no, we're not spy. Look through our things. We have nothing. We have.
Yeah, they start like going through your stuff, and they like search you.
We're
as well.
simple merchants. We have herbs for sale.
They find like the monocle of pearls.
No.
They start like investigating and they pass it to the others, and like one like looks through it.
Could I get that back?
He just needs that.
I need that to see.
One eye. He uses that to see properly.
They like start chattering in their common language, like quite agitatedly about the facts around this monocle, and they pass it back to the kind of leader.
Could I get that, please? I need that.
And he shakes his head. Spies.
No,
They start signaling a bunch of different like weird hand signals that the Drow have, so they don't actually speak. They actually say anything. They just start like hand signaling to one another, like the five of them kind of signing off to each other, and then they just like grab you, and you're like trussed up in these ties behind your like back.
I can promise you this is not necessary. I mean.
They just kind of like tie you up and start like pushing you down the cave back towards where you guys.
Keefling, if you could pack, look at it, watch walk. If you could pack one side of a tunnel, why would you not pack the other side of the tunnel, Keefling?
Because they can't just break through snow, you know. It was more just to deter anyone from the outside from even finding it versus to stop something from getting in. You think if they come up their tunnel, Pearl?
I blame you.
Like, oh, what's all this?
I know. I fucking blame you. This is why we get it. All right, this is your fault.
Yeah, whose shift was it on, Pearl? Whose shift was it on?
Fair enough.
What are you doing up here? Making all this noise?
You could have made the noise to signal them to come up, and it just happened to be on my shift that this happened. All right, this is your fault. All right.
No.
God damn.
I fell asleep.
This is why Mum thinks you're a fuck up. Okay.
Oh yeah. Bring Mom into this.
Yeah, because you know.
Who bought Mom all that food before we left, huh?
Who's technically older? Okay. Well, yeah, you bought the food, but I cooked it. This is what kind of happens, isn't it?
You come first.
Look, we're now.
No, bro. You come first.
You're gonna tell her this is what happened, all right? If we actually live out of this, it's your fault.
I hope you don't.
Wow. You know what? You would miss me if I'm gone. Okay. You would be fucking nothing without me. Okay.
Yeah. Then maybe your mom would love me.
Yeah, she doesn't love you right now because you know you're always putting us into shit like this.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably the reason Dad left.
Yeah. Wow. Stop fucking talking to me now. Stop fucking talking. All right. I'm done with you.
Savage. Absolutely savage. As you guys are like having this heated argument, you're being led ever further down the rabbit hole, further down this tunnel, which goes deeper and deeper. It gets darker and darker until you can see basically nothing. And Dad?
Dad went for smokes 20 years ago.
Never came back.
Said he'd be right back. He's coming back though.
I have a friend, and his dad did genuinely leave when he was a kid, and he always makes that joke, and it's really uncomfortable because everyone knows that it's actually true. Oh man! If you guys want to see the screen cap of that, I tweeted it just now. It's quite good of you two, just to hand up.
The party fails the perception check, and the campsite gets captured by the Drow.
So you're being led down until you can see very, very little. I forget if halflings have dark vision or not.
I don't think we
I
do.
always forget. I don't think you do.
No.
And so you can literally see nothing. It's like you've got a blindfold over your eyes at this point after like maybe an hour or so of walking like tied up down here, and they begin to lead you. If that's 20 years ago, wouldn't that be right now? We can stop Dad leaving.
He didn't actually go for smokes. We don't know what happened to him.
You can go and you can burn all the cigarettes in the shop so he can never leave to go get like cigarettes. Down further into this cave system, from what you can tell. I mean, you're completely disoriented and lost. Occasionally, when you get too kind of like rowdy and fighty with one each other, they'll give you like a swift punch to the ribs or something just to like stop you from talking. And there's a point where one of them like whispers in like to you guys, "No talking."
Rude.
And then they like carry on, and there's like an audible like silence from the rest of the Drow where like conversations that they were having stop, and it's like you're walking. All you can hear is like your own footsteps. You can barely hear those. So they've gone into like silent Drow, sneaky mode for like maybe an hour or two. So they've been traveling for maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe more, maybe less. Honestly, it's really, really hard to tell because you have no way of really gauging any sunlight, and it's just like what you feel as the time has passed, I guess. And so there's a few more hours of this traveling, and then you guys are kind of like you start to hear the sounds of like picks on stone.
No.
And there's like a like kind of rhythmic clacking and clicking of stone and pick, and you actually hear like a kind of song start to kind of form. As you get close, you can hear like whoever's doing this digging appears to be singing some kind of song to keep their pace of the different like hits that they do. So like every beat they'll hit, and then there'll be like another 3, and then they'll hit, and then they'll sing some more of the song, and then they'll hit. And this becomes a kind of very rhythmic sort of kind of timbre which you have to the backset of this piece. So thank you so much to Hamlick for following. Welcome, my friend, to the adventure. You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. So you're coming into this sort of area here, and your blindfolds are then like removed because there aren't actual blindfolds on you, but you actually see light. And so it felt like you've been blind this entire time. There's no fabric over your eyes, you just can't see. And you actually see some light. And if you had your eyes closed for this long, it's like waking up and there being like a burning sun in your room. It's incredibly painful. Your eyes have been adjusted to darkness, and so like this harsh light is actually pretty painful to hear, to see rather. And you
my retinas.
yeah, it's pretty painful. And you see this like columns and columns of workers, different races that you haven't seen before, but also some dwarves are in here. There are some like gnome-like creatures, but they have this kind of dark green, bluey skin, like forming across their bodies rather than like the kind of human skin, kind of pinkish colors of gnomes that you have seen. And there are bigger creatures as well. These kind of big, thick. Almost like troll-like creatures. It's the closest thing that you guys could even put them towards. But they're kind of humanoid. They're not as big. They're probably about 7 feet. And they appear to be incredibly dumb, but also incredibly strong and powerful. But if you guys have ever like met a troll or heard of a troll, like there'd be no way they'd be living this far down underground. However far down underground you actually are. And so these lights here, which you see, they're torches, but they're actually this kind of purple flame to them. And of course, your own green torches of moss aren't anywhere to be seen at this point, unfortunately. And there's one drow like carrying all your stuff. And you see there's kind of like these little spires begin to form as you get closer. And you're walking along a pathway. Now think Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom sort of stuff. You're walking along a big central path, and then down below are these workers, hitting the rock, and you see spires of this architecture begin to form, and what seems to be like a, several miles big, like settlement, like clearly like some kind of town or village of some sort, and there are different buildings here as well, all made out of this kind of weird architecture, very spiky, very sexy, very gothic. Compared to the kind of human, basic kind of architecture that you'd be used to. And you're led along this colonnade through a set of spiky, sexy gates made out of this kind of weird kind of like obsidian, but it's got this kind of like purple kind of marbling effect on it. And as you see, there are more of these elven-like drow creatures. I mean, you probably heard whispers of what dark elves are, what the drow are. But you certainly never would have seen one before, and they're more kind of folktale, keep kids scared at night sort of creatures, rather than, the drow are a very real threat. Certainly in the area of Luskan, where you've come from, the drow are kind of not known to be active in the area. And so you come into this area, left through this gate, more drow guards around the place, and you're thrown into this pen, essentially. And there's maybe a few other people like in the pen. There's like one of these weird-looking gnomes down here. It appears to be like completely broken. And there's like an old dwarf with some cracked teeth who's clearly had enough. And you're just thrown into this pen in this area here, overlooking the rows and rows of workers. One of the drow throws you in and says, "You will be questioned soon by the mistress."
I'm going to look at Keef and I'm like, I hope you have a plan, because I can tell you for certain that I don't thrive in a slavery environment, Keef.
Oh yeah, look who's willing to talk again. Pearl.
Well, I'm not the one getting fucking punched in the stomach. God damn it, Keef. You're good with knives.
Are we restrained at this point, or are we like free to move?
You're like
around?
free to move, but you're in like very kind of cramped space. Yeah. There's like a lock on the door.
I want to look at the pen that we're in. Is there some sort of a locking mechanism on it?
Yeah,
I'm
it appears to
assuming?
be this very weird-looking, complex kind of lock that you haven't seen before. Like, clearly don't use the same sort of keys like you are familiar with. But clearly something fits in the lock and opens it.
Did I see them? Did I see them use something to lock it?
Yeah, we'll say that you saw basically like this kind of ceremonial-looking dagger. Basically, you kind of poke it in and like twist it around and like push the pommel in, and the dagger is what sets it in.
Okay, that's cool. No reason to just making a note of it.
Yeah.
They have all of our stuff, correct?
They have all your stuff. Yeah. You mean you're wearing like your basic clothes at this point, but everything else would have been stripped from you, strip searched.
Is there any is it just our cell, or is there other cells with people in it?
There are other cells, yeah, but they seem to be, not making too much of a fuss, or just kind of laying back. The only real sounds is like this cacophony of sound coming from the workers who seem to be mining, and the songs.
I'm gonna go to the side of the cell. Go. St, st, hey, hey.
There's a sound of a dwarf. What? You see, you can just make out like a kind of bearded dwarf from down here.
How are you doing? It's wonderful to meet you, Pearl Onyx Elm. So, how long have you been down here?
Don't know.
Good answer. Can I have a look at your hands, please?
Yeah, I guess. Holds out his hands. Why?
I'm going to check a perception check. How rough are his hands? Are they bleeding? Are they scabbing?
Yeah.
How bad
are
are
they? Perception check for that.
They're
Yeah.
pretty disgusting.
Yeah, pretty grim.
I'm just going to look back and keep him with a straight face. Like,
She's okay. They mentioned how they've never seen little people, us, the size of us. Correct? They were like surprised.
Yeah, the Drow hadn't seen a halfling before. Yeah.
Okay. The pen that we're in, I want to like attempt to see if I can. Is there any way to squeeze out through the bars? I'm assuming if they aren't really aware of people our size, maybe they didn't make it for people our size.
The bars are clearly like not escapable for even someone like you. I mean, they're like the size of a fist. It's like a mesh.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming the top looks very similar.
Yep. Top looks very similar. I mean, these things are like, the Drow. If you've heard anything about them, they're cruel creatures. They love imprisoning people, and so. It's not the kind of case where they're like stupid kind of guardsmen who might like be persuaded to give you the key or something out. It's not Pirates of the Caribbean down here, unfortunately.
Okay.
But the dwarf kind of like he notices you kind of like looking around the place looking for an escape. Says, We've all tried that, lad. It's not gonna work.
What did they?
What's
say
that?
what?
do you try hard enough, apparently?
Well, apparently not.
Damn it.
How'd they get you?
We were around a campfire and we were trying to escape the cold and...
Classic. Fell asleep?
Yeah. How about you? Fell asleep too?
Nay. They captured me when I was the last one of my regiment.
So they killed you? Well, your friends.
Hey.
Well, I guess we can be, happy about that. They didn't kill us.
At least I went down to the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I have a question? Do you think you prefer to be dead or still be alive down here?
Well,
damn, that's deep.
Yeah, that's deep. Almost
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, from 1 being absolute worst and 10 being best environment ever, where would you
environment?
Where do you rate the Drow camp?
What's your experience
where would you
like?
rate
Can you
that?
fill out this form?
would
Also,
it be a solid 1 or
yeah,
could be worse?
He takes a moment to think. He takes a moment to thank Testament for following. Welcome, my friend. To the adventure, you're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. And he says, down here, boy, it's worse than death.
Good to know.
So, down here.
Do you get fed at least? Because I'm kind of hungry.
Occasionally.
Rats.
Rats, scraps.
Mm.
Creatures grow down here.
I guess we've eaten worse, I suppose.
You said you would rather die than serve down here?
Aye, it's dishonorable for a dwarf to die in such a way. I should have died with my regiment.
What if we assist you?
No, Keefling. He could be abused.
That's what I'm thinking. If you would genuinely rather die, maybe we could use your death as a distraction. Would you?
He doesn't seem like convinced by the idea at this point. But he's like, if you can get me a chance, you get an axe in my hands.
What about
and I'll
a
hold them
pickaxe
off
in your hand? Would a pickaxe work? 'Cause it has the word axe in it, so I assume that would work.
A dwarf must die with an axe in his hand. My battle axe would do. I could hold them off. At least some of them for a while. Pickaxe ain't no good. You can only get them down there, and they're chained.
Okay.
Unless you could break one off. I mean, I'd give it a go. But
so, is there like a schedule they run on, like a tight schedule? Like, do they have feeding times at 12? And they have torture.
When is recess?
And at 6 you get your ass plugged by a sword, and then 8 you do a little bit of pickaxing.
Yeah, he says, the work is at least 15 hours a day, and then you get some break, and then back to work.
That's it.
Aye.
No problem. I hate to say it, but I can probably only do 1 hour of work, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be much use of them. So.
I will, and you die.
Oh, really?
If you're no use, then they'll kill you, but from the sounds of it, they want to interrogate you first, so that sounds like your opportunity to get out of here.
So, they keep calling us spies. What can we be spies of?
The Drow have many enemies, lad. They don't have many friends.
So
They're
what's their
very
allies, then?
suspicious. Have any allies? No, other than of a Drow.
Damn it. Do they have any gods?
Hey, Lolf is their god.
Loaf? What's it look like?
A giant fucking spider. She's a queen. She breeds all the spiders down here, and as you look, there's like a massive tarantula crawling up you, just up your neck. Doesn't appear to be like eating you or anything, or like attacking you. It's just a giant tarantula going up your face at this point.
I'm gonna, like, you know how they crawl? I'm gonna make it crawl into a hand. Yeah. Like, so what happens if we pretend with the spider hand? Why doesn't we say that we're sent from their god?
Well, I imagine they might know if you were.
How would they know, though? Have they ever seen that god?
Hey, she's real, apparently.
Oh, okay, then, yeah, maybe never mind then.
Might be worth a shot. I mean, they might, who would be so stupid as to pretend that Lolf's on them? Even I think is not possible.
Okay, well, do you happen to have any metal on you? Like any, thin piece of metal or anything?
No, they search us regularly for metal, in case we use it as a weapon.
Do they search your cavities?
I think he wants to know if you've shoved anything inside your body to keep it hidden.
Would they search?
No.
No? Would that be dishonorable in
Aye, very dishonorable.
But if it would be dishonorable if it allowed you to get out of this cage, then it would be honorable?
Yeah. Still, even if you survive, you should die like a man, not survive like a man with a dildo,
But theoretical dildo could get you out of this cage.
Well, if you can get me a piece of metal, then you can do that, but I'm not. You bastard.
Okay, well, I'm out of ideas.
He's into some kinky shit.
You're the master of this. If you can get my monocle back in my hand, I could potentially melt these bars, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, when they come, I could potentially. Yeah, I got an idea.
Well, let's agree on an idea. What we're gonna say? We can say we're not spies all we want.
Steal the dagger key.
And if he catches you,
we're probably gonna die anyway. They think we're spies.
Okay, so how can we prove that we're not spies?
We can't. Can you think of any way? I can't think of any way. I think that shows you're not a spy. To the Drow, who really don't give a fuck either way. They want more slaves. Like, oh, let's say we're not spies. You think we're just going to be, oh, they're not spies. We'll just let them leave. Nice little common people. No, they go fucking rape and pillage villages for slavery. Like,
is there a ground? What ground are we on? We're on dirt. Is it cage as well?
Yeah, on rock. And
so we can't potentially try to dig our way out then.
Presumably it would take longer than a couple of days to dig out of here.
Let's just wait till they come.
Alright, fine. Nice to meet you, Sir Dwarf, by the way.
Hey. Name's Faldrus.
Pearl.
Nice knowing you. And he like looks over, nods over to like a group of Drow like coming towards you. They like open the cage, take you guys out, tie your wrists again, and start walking you towards a building.
And I'm going to tell him, hey, could you loosen these up, please? It's starting to leave a mark.
Yeah, one of them like, and he like tightens them.
No! Fucker! They're not very civilized, are they?
Should have asked them to tighten them.
So,
Joke's on you, this is my fetish.
I love it. So,
You ever heard of Rihanna in your time, S&M?
So, yeah, they like shove you inside this kind of build. They like open this door, and there are these two very kind of Drow-esque chairs. You know, they're not like normal chairs. They have to be like made out of black metal and look all gothic and shit. And so they like shove you down on these, and there's a woman standing here, female Drow, who shares like a whip on her hip, which continues the fantasy. And this kind of shock of big white hair.
I'm intrigued.
And she's like standing over this desk, but she's like in a very kind of pensive, kind of like hands-on desk, looking down at you kind of pose, because she's of course way taller than you. The guards like remain in the room, and the Drow guards aren't just like big burly guys. They're like really sleek and thin kind of guys, but they're like really toned, you know. And then they kind of fight with more kind of like samurai martial arts kind of shit than necessarily going for the kind of brute force kind of approach. And they're just very quiet and they're very poised at all times. And she kind of looks you up and down for a while, and then she says, in again fairly broken kind of common, "You are the latest spies." Except.
No, but I will say you are very attractive.
Yeah, she's in fact wearing, like, to be fair, she actually is. She's very kind of, she's got these very high cheekbones, which make her look quite kind of authoritative. But she is wearing a kind of, you know, kind of slightly sexy kind of Drow outfit, because all of them wear like slightly more sexualized outfits than like common clothing around here. It's not like baggy sackcloths that you'd see commoners in. Even like all the other Drow, like the males are like they're good looking kind of athletic men, and she's like a fairly good looking athletic woman as well. And she says, "Flattery will get you nowhere."
True, but I'm just making an observation. You are a very attractive woman. I'm sensing you probably have a lot of suitors, but if you're looking for something outside of the Drow culture, I'm your man.
We do not mate with spies.
I'm not a spy, so we're in luck.
She looks towards Keef. I think squeegee for her stuff, dude. Looks towards Keef, and she actually comes over and she like traces a hand on your kind of underneath your chin, kind of like playing with you, because you're just so weird to her. You know? She can tell she's just like looking.
Trying to like hide my boner. I'm just like,
tuck it up, tuck it up, tuck it up.
you too. Hi.
If only your hands weren't tied.
Shit.
This is awkward.
Hi. Hello. Not a spy, but you know, I'm shit. Sorry, it's been a while. Only mother has touched me in a long time.
Wow.
Not like that.
Wow.
Well,
Okay, he is not being serious.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a quote.
He is definitely not being serious.
took that to the next level. I could see in your eyes when I said it, you were just like, oh.
That might, even if that is his thing, that's not me. Okay. I would still like to pursue something with you if that's a possibility, but yeah.
So
All right.
Keef,
Look here.
2016, it's been a while. Only mother's touched me like that recently. Quote 107 for Liz. So yeah, she's like she's clearly upset by your like impertinence, and then she's like 10 lashes towards the guards, and they like
To
take
me?
you out. To both of you.
Hold on. That's not necessary. I promise you this. We
like,
are.
Rip open the back of your shirts and start like.
Fuck!
This isn't helping the orders.
This is getting worse.
One extra. And then like you're like bleeding and broken from like your back. Like you've got all kind of Braveheart on this. And then she like they throw you back down into the seats, and like it's really bad because they've just like cut like they push you onto like open wounds onto the back of these chairs. Like, oh god, like down the belly of these chairs, like you're like quivering with like the pain.
Jory is gonna be so upset. I'm just gonna like yell that out.
She comes and like grabs you like while they're kind of says, "Tell me of the dwarf.
Grief.
You will tell us all."
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything if you lay another hand on me, woman.
What kind of woman?
We have that. I'm just gonna kind of look at him like, you have power.
And it's just like, well, if you're not going to tell me, then we'll have to force it out of you.
Okay, before can I? I'll raise my hand like actually. Can I tell you something? Are you acquainted with the Almanac?
Of what do you speak? Which Almanac?
The Almanac that predicts the future in the case that an attack could potentially destroy every civilization, in specific Luskan. So, and we're on a very important business. We're not spies. We just want to have everyone be in a nice utopia.
Jory has sent you on this.
No, we're not being sent on Jory's behalf. He actually has the pages that we need. And he actually told, he didn't tell us, but the person that sent us back in time actually said that we would seek you out, and he said that you would help us. So...
Roll me a deception. Let's see if she's buying this clear shit.
Yeah!
An 18 on deception. So like something you said, like... I'll roll her insight as well, but just to see if you're on the side for it.
Before nat 20.
10. So yeah, so she's not like instantly trusting you, but you've like the way I do kind of like a lot of social interactions is like you don't make one roll and you've like necessarily like succeeded, but you've like made a step towards her like believing her story a little bit more. And so she says, "Why?"
Because he said that you're very powerful. You have a very powerful empire. You're very influential. I know you're scared of spies. We're not spies.
Not scared of anything.
Okay. Not scared. Got it. But he said that to prevent the world from devastation, to unite our people within our nation, we are to defend every civilization in this case. And the Almanac protects that. And we're on if you want to save your own city here, which is amazing. I love the towers, by the way, the spikes. Every spike added to that looks amazing. Okay?
Sexy.
Very, very.
Very sexy.
Absolutely.
Get on with it.
Oh, okay. So if you want to defend your nation, he said that you would help us. And in that sense, you can point us in the right direction. Because as you saw, we came from like a frozen tundra. We were getting cold. And he said that your civilization may help us.
And might I interject?
Sure.
I think we can assist you in giving you information on Jory. We have no allegiance to Jory.
No.
We can definitely help you if you help us.
So
In fact, he stole the pages. No, he said that since you guys are mortal enemies of these dwarfs, you would help us get the pages back.
Yeah, because they're kind of going against us too. They're making our lives harder. You know, they took the things from us.
So we're actually on the same side.
So yeah, we kind of have a common enemy at this point. Like we don't really care if they die. Like we're not trying to hurt them. We just want our stuff back, but we don't care if anything were to happen either.
Right. And if you want to take their little dwarven kingdom over, by all means, you can. They're very good miners, by the way, as you can see from the dwarf back in that cage. They're very good. So.
Keef, would you roll me a deception check?
Sure.
Hey, no, I'll give you advantage because there's some good role playing there. It's on a 13. I'll roll hers.
No, please. Why have you got a +6 and you got a 13?
Because RNG's.
Oh, you are
17.
fucking terrible.
I mean, and technically none of that was even a lie. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
they are kind of like, you know,
half-truths,
they did
yeah.
take the pages, and we don't really care if they live or die.
She says, never trust a spy. You've clearly shown that you can't be trusted because you'll sacrifice your own employees.
She's
not
What's stopping us?
they're not our employers. They literally actually have something of ours.
Has possessions we need.
And they said that you're very powerful. So
What's stopping us from simply going there and taking these powerful pages, if they exist?
nothing.
ourselves.
But at the same time, you need our help to identify the exact pages.
Yeah, I mean, paper's paper. You
cannot
never-
believe-
Anything. That's a lot of paper in this
I
world.
care not for these papers of yours. What I do care about is the dwarves and their defenses and the entrances into their base.
Okay, so how about this? How about we act as spies for you? We're not spies, but we can get the information that you need on how to attack this kingdom, and in turn, you help us get the pages.
I've never been a spy before.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to teach us because apparently you guys are very stealthy.
Yeah, we don't know anything about being spies because we're not
Well,
spies.
the dwarves, do they like you halflings?
Yeah, I mean, they don't know if we're bad people. I mean, they don't have predisposed anger towards us, so we could just potentially look like travelers.
So
Which-
you could walk in there and tell us everything about them.
Exactly. We can even, like, if you have an arcane vision that looks around whilst we walk in, you can plant one on us, and we could walk in and you can get to see it.
You had in your possession, and she like goes into a drawer, this, and she draws out the monocle.
Yes, a family artifact.
Yes, I will be using this as a guarantee that you don't betray us. I'll be holding onto it, and I'll be watching every single step. So don't think you can betray us. 'Cause
Absolutely
if you do,
not.
You will be killed in the most painful, long, excruciating manner.
I respect that, and I would never do that to you because I'm very attracted to you. I would personally like, after this is all done, maybe we can get some food, maybe, take a look around the cave and we can pet some
Now-
spiders. Okay.
I have an idea. Hear me out, but I have an idea. We spoke with a dwarf in our cell. I almost guarantee he would be of a lot of use to us. You should
think
let
so?
us, like, to keep this undercover so he doesn't know what's going on, you should put us back in our cells and give me a way to get us out and let us three escape, and we can use that dwarf to get
Yes.
better.
Yes.
Like, we'll save the dwarf. We'll bring him back to Jory, into the dwarves, and
I can
you'll be
tell
able to
you are
watch these
cunning
back.
creatures, you halflings. I like that idea. But first, I need a proof of your loyalty. I need to test it. Now, come with me.
Would you like to play Calderon?
What?
Excuse me?
Oh, you must not have heard of it. It's just a game we used to play. It's kind of a way to show allegiance. Never mind. We'll play your game.
You will. Now come with me.
Can we lose these ties, please? It's kind of hurting.
She like nods to the guards and they get these little blades, these little daggers out, which are like serrated, and they kind of like just snicker towards you. They snicker snack, and your hands like this, and then they just like cut them through with a thrust, it's like perfect precision, and you're like, fuck, it's gonna cut my hands off. And they just like part, and he's like, and
Thank
then
you.
they like put the daggers back with like a flourish, and they put them back into their scabbards. Take a look
Skills.
around the cave. That's what they call.
You could learn something from them.
And then the mistress, she leads you out of the little building that you're in into a kind of side chamber, and she leads you to where there are two kind of cages, very similar, and there are they're almost like gibbets, I guess, because they're like suspended. and there are like crows like eat these people that are in there, like peck on them and bite their like flesh. Yeah, and if you want to take a quick bio break, well then go ahead at this point because we're entering a new scene here. But I will leave you on like this just little cliffhanger where she kind of like she just like hands you both a dagger and she's like, prove your loyalty. And at this point, you can take a 2-minute break.
Oh god.
Yeah, Keith, could you mind holding the stream, like chatting to guys for a little bit? I need to take a bio break as well.
No, yeah, sure. I'll do like a little dance or something.
Yeah,
you
a
know?
little dance would be good actually. Maybe a little
Yeah,
striptease.
you gonna put on some like sexy time music for me? Maybe take off a little
I
clothing or
do
something.
actually have some smooth jazz I could play for you. Where's my smooth jazz when I need it most?
When you return, though, I do want to take a quick little bio.
Yeah,
So.
we'll do a little switcheroo here. So don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to carry on playing in just a few moments here. We need to take bio breaks every now and again. So I'll leave you in the gentle hands of Keefling here. So.
Hello. Yo, thank you guys so much for hanging out today so far. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. This is a new campaign for me and Paul. Both have a little bit of experience with D&D. We played in a separate campaign for I think it was roughly like 40-something weeks. We played once a week for 40-something weeks, and then ended up forming this one as a 2-man group, and I like it so far. I think Will does an excellent job, and you know, a lot of interesting things. If you guys haven't seen it or kind of just like stepping in pretty recently, Will does these things that we kind of came up with the idea. It's called Twist of Fate, where will basically present a couple different paths. If you've ever played the game Life is Strange, it's a very similar concept where you guys, the viewers, will vote on which path we take. And those happen once, twice, maybe 3 times. You know, it just depends on how Will can fit them into the storyline. They'll happen at some point each episode. And generally they are kind of a more kind of a big deal. You know, they really have a couple different paths that can take the group in 2 different directions and stuff. So
just to let you know, Keith, talking about the Life is Strange effect, you know, we're deciding with Drow and we're about to sell out dwarves, and that's 20 years ago. When we get back to our actual present,
yeah, I'm fully aware, Paul.
We've probably just enslaved all of the North.
You know, would my character care though?
If they expand their territory this much, yeah, we'll probably end up being slaves in the future. Unless we become nobility, because we helped them, you know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, just saying.
But we just sold out dwarves and they're probably gonna die now, so...
The butterfly effect on this one's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, we just sold out the whole dwarf colony. So.
Yeah, you know.
Because kind of like because I'm just kind of riffing off here, this scenario. Because you're like, we're going to a cave, and I was like, oh, something bad has got to happen to these guys in the cave. And I was thinking, goblins is far too the Hobbit, so the Drow are much better, much cooler.
Yes, much more like universally terrible. Like we just ruined an entire nation, pretty much. So go us. I'm gonna do a quick bio. I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
No worries. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. Like time travel as a concept for D&D is like one thing that I haven't done, and so like keeping track of it is gonna be really interesting to see all the different things that you guys do, because the one thing the hermit said is like, don't do anything like big, and now you guys like, we're gonna destroy the dwarves.
It's either them or us, you know. I mean, what do you pick?
So we'll see exactly what the present day looks like if you guys ever end up returning.
Well, that's a good thing. We traveled back 2 days prior to the day then.
Yeah, so. Just as well.
Well,
if you guys haven't followed, then do hit that follow button and join us. Today we've got 5 nights a week of D&D. We're going to have 8 shows. So we've got 3 nights where we're doing, 3 days where we're doing 2 shows like this. So a whole lot of stuff. We've got Curse of Strahd coming up in just about under 2 hours here. Playing our latest book out from Wizards of the Coast, so that's pretty fun. And we're only a few episodes into that, so it's a good point to join in. Tiger's keeping track of all the stuff for us. That's good. D&D strip show coming soon. Yeah, it's a D20 dating show. What's up, Milk? But yeah, it's gonna be funny seeing exactly what you guys get up to. I think over here. I didn't see the dwarf Drow angle coming, but we recently played Out of the Abyss, which is all about the Underdark and Drow and stuff like that. So drawing some inspiration from that.
So that's safe to assume they're actually in the Underdark then.
Fairly safe to assume, yeah.
How long did we actually travel for? Do you know?
About 3 or 4 hours. You're probably at a very low, like a very high tier of the Underdark. So like it has different like tiers of how deep you are. So you're probably in like the Drow like forward base at this point. Yeah.
So they're very military-like.
Very, yeah. They've got well, the slaves are still working here, but there's a lot of soldiers around the camp.
Is it safe to assume that the women in the Drow culture are of power compared to the men?
The men certainly seem to defer to the matriarch, the mistress. Whenever she's around, she seems to be in charge. Yeah, it's very much a matriarchal society, and it's kind of a lot of kind of role reversal stuff because like the women all take like several consorts and male lovers and stuff, and that's seen as acceptable, but it's not okay for male lovers to have several female kind of consorts. As it would be in, like, the world above.
Gotcha.
For like a king to have like several mistresses, that would be fine. But for the like the wife couldn't have several male lovers and stuff. That would be seen as scandalous. But down here, it's a little bit different.
So they worship a spider, you said? Spider goddess.
They worship a giant spider goddess called Lolth, yeah.
Lolth. Let me write that down.
Lolth. L-L-O-L-T-H. For Lolth. Welcome back, Keith.
Thank you.
Feeling ready?
We are kind of upset there wasn't a strip show during the break. Hey, we do tiny chats after stream sometimes that there are less rules than Twitch. You want to pop in one of those sometime?
Live judgment stuff, yeah. Okay. So, you guys are... Quick catch up for those guys who were just joining, or just after this break here. So, Keef and Perl are two time-traveling hobbits, halflings, looking to find some pages of the Luskan Almanac in order to save the world from all attacks in time. And they've travelled to Icewind Dale 20 or so years in the past in order to find these pages. And they're a few days before they're set to find them. And they found themselves in this kind of icy tundra of Icewind Dale, as the name might suggest. And they were in a cave. They took shelter for the night, and they were captured by the Drow. So now find themselves half a day later in the Underdark, captured, and they're currently being interrogated by a mistress of the Drow, who appears to be kind of in charge of the situation, and she wants to use them as spies against the dwarves, whom they're meant to be meeting. They're meant to be meeting Jory the Elder, and so they're going to betray Jory's trust before they even meet him, it seems like, and spy on him for the Drow. But in order to gain her trust, they're going to have to, it seems like, kill a slave here who is like trapped in a gibbet, and there's two of them. There's a male and a female.
No. We're not going to kill them. We're going to help them escape to get us in with the dwarves.
No, but they want us to prove.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So
Gotcha,
she said, I like that plan, but first, prove to me that you can be trusted by killing these people, essentially. So there are two slaves here. One is female, one is male. They both seem to have been here for a very long time. You can tell their bodies like really tortured, and they look an absolute mess. Clearly, probably want to be put out of their misery. But at the same time, you're gonna have to like take a life here. So she hands you a dagger. She takes a step back. There's a load of Drow in the room. They have like swords and kind of crossbows ready in case you're about to like turn on them and stab them or something. Not to say that you couldn't get a thrust in or two before they start dealing with you, but certainly the odds aren't in your favour. to fight the Drow. Because once you get out of this room, if you can kill these guys, you've got like a small army outside in this garrison city. So, what is the plan, guys?
I'm gonna take the dagger and be like, it will be my honor. Thank you. And I'll bow a little bit and I'll wait for Keef to get his dagger. I'm like, just fucking do it. It's either them or us. What would you do? You know anatomy. Don't stab them.
Anatomy. Fuck off.
Just don't fucking stab them in the dick or something, alright? Don't be a dick.
One of them is female, so like
chop his tit off. I'll take the dagger. And I'm gonna tell her, like, I'm only doing this, like, I don't want to kill this person. Like, this is, you know, I'll spy for you, but I don't want to, like, kill people. Like, if that's your thing, I'm not knocking it. But if you're gonna make us, if this is the only way to prove that we'll work with you and you can't just, you know, watch us and fulfill the plan, I will do it. But this isn't out of, like, pleasure. This is not something I want to do.
She kind of looks at you uncaringly.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, want to prove my loyalty to the Drow.
Savage, dude.